Today's big cats include tigers, lions, jaguars, leopards, snow leopards, and, often, clouded leopards. They are a diverse group of felines from the genus Panthera. Tigers live in India and Siberia, lions and leopards in Africa, jaguars in Central and South America, and snow leopards and clouded leopards in Central and Southeast Asia. With the different species of big cats occupying such a wide geographical range and thriving in a variety of habitats, it is interesting to ask the question, where did they originate from? Until recently, it was thought that the big cats first made an appearance in Africa just under 4 million years ago. Big cat fossils are incredibly rare, but those that had been found indicated an African origin 3.8 million years ago. Then, in 2010, paleontologists uncovered the skull of a big cat in the Zanda Basin, a remote region of southwestern Tibet. The location was a surprise to those that found it, as well as to the wider scientific community. The skull and other fragments were dated back between 4.1 and 6 million years ago. Scientists used magnetostratigraphy, which is a way in which fossils can be dated by observing the historical record of Earth's magnetic field and surrounding rock. The intact big cat skull was dated to around 4.4 million years ago. Before this, Tanzania had held the record for the oldest big cat fossil, which dated to 3.6 million years old. The Tibetan plateau seems to have been the origin of a few prehistoric animals. Not only did the big cat's ancestors begin their journeys there, but so too did the woolly rhinoceros, whose remains have been dated at 3.6 million years old. The harsh climate of the plateau meant that species had to adapt to the high altitude, over 5,000 meters, and freezing temperatures. Some scientists believe that these conditions made the species evolving there especially hardy, and from Tibet, they were more successful at radiating outwards and spreading across the rest of the world. DNA analysis of extinct and extant big cats has always pointed towards an older cat of Asian origin for the Pantherine genus, but the fossilized skull found on the plateau finally provided the tangible evidence scientists needed to support this conclusion. It is thought that the creature this skull belonged to was similar in appearance to modern-day snow leopards. The head was broad, with a short snout. However, it was a smaller cat than today's snow leopard, similar in size to the clouded leopard. DNA evidence suggests that today's big cats diverged from the feline over 6 million years ago, which includes cheetahs, mountain lions, lynxes, caracals, and domestic cats, among many others. Both the big cats and the smaller ones have similar features. Their heads and faces are largely broad, with squat snouts. They are mostly ambush predators with exceptional speed and agility. They are carnivorous and possess the sensory and physical adaptations to hunt and capture their prey in their different habitats. When we think of the wide variety of cats that grace our planet today, we can see the different sizes of these animals and the different fur coats that help them blend into their surroundings. We know that the more recent ancestors of the big cats originated from the Tibetan plateau 4 million years ago. But what about before that? Where does the lineage go from there? If we travel back 66 million years ago, then we would witness the catastrophic event that wiped out the dinosaurs. Thought to be a large meteor that struck the Yucatan Peninsula. The ensuing damage that followed destroyed 75% of the Earth's flora and fauna. As devastating as this was, without the huge dinosaurs dominating the Earth, those that had existed alongside the likes of T-Rex were small, shrew-like mammals. About 6 million years after this mass extinction event, the carnivora began to develop. The earliest forms resembled genettes and were nocturnal hunters on the forest floor and in the trees. Cat-like creatures like the nimravids, otherwise known as the false saber-toothed cat, also developed. They began to dominate the landscape. These were not true cats, but occupied the niche their feline cousins would soon fill. Then, 25 to 30 million years ago, there was a split among the carnivora, the lineage that was to become today's big cats, after millions of years of evolution, and further divergences, of course. began with the emergence of the Proilurus. Most scientists agree that this is one of the felid's earliest ancestors, and its name, Proilurus, essentially means before the cat, or first cat. It was a little bigger than today's domestic cats, weighing about 9 kilograms or 20 pounds. It looks similar to civets, with a partially arboreal lifestyle. From this civet-looking ancestor, Pseudolurus emerged and spread across the northern hemisphere 20 million years ago. This was larger than its predecessor and more cat-like in appearance. Its fossils have been found throughout Europe, Asia, and North America. At around this time, the feline lineage split once more. One line evolved into the Felidae, which would eventually include today's big cats, and the other line became the extinct subfamily Machairodontinae, which included saber-toothed cats such as Smilodon and Homotherium. The saber-toothed cats ranged in size and geographic distribution. The most famous is perhaps Smilodon, which lived in the Americas until about 10,000 years ago. There is debate about why and how this great predator became extinct, but most conclude that it was a combination of a changing climate and subsequent prey distribution, as well as the arrival of humans. The Felidae, however, persisted through the Pleistocene and into the Holocene. They are found across most of the world and form two distinct subdivisions. Firstly, the pantherines, which include tigers, lions, jaguars, leopards, and snow leopards, and separately Neofelis, the clouded leopard. And secondly, the Felidae, which includes the smaller felines such as cheetahs, lynxes, caracals, mountain lions, and, of course, our beloved domestic cats. It is unclear how the small cats became domesticated. In the case of dogs, they were tamed over thousands of years to help humans work the land, hunt, and provide protection. But cats are more complex than that. They likely associated themselves with humans more and more as humans provided a source of food. Where people lived and worked, often farming the land, there was an abundance of rodents for cats to prey on, and plenty of scrap food to entice them into our lives. People realized the benefits of having cats around by keeping pest numbers down and also providing comfort as they moved from outdoors into our homes. If we look at the more recent evolutionary history of the big cats, we can see how closely related each of the species is to one another. Of the big cat species, tigers and snow leopards are least related to the others. In fact, their ancestral lineage suggests these two big cats are sister species to each other. The common ancestor of lions, leopards, and jaguars split from other cats 4.3 to 3.8 million years ago. Then, jaguars split from the lion and leopard lineage 3.6 to 2.5 million years ago. And finally, lions and leopards split from one another 3 to 2 million years ago. Tigers and snow leopards, however, had evolved separately from the other big cats about 3.9 million years ago. The tiger evolved into its own species toward the end of the Pliocene, about 3.2 million years ago. Each separate species of big cat has become masterful in its environment. They have an incredible history, and one that we will likely learn more about as fossil evidence comes to light. However, most, if not all, of the big cats are under threat of extinction. Leopards are currently the most numerous big cats in the world, with an estimated population size of 250,000. However, there are only thought to be as many as 10,000 clouded leopards and just 6,000 snow leopards left in the wild. Populations of lions in Africa are becoming smaller with about 20,000 remaining, and only 500 Asiatic lions in India's Gir National Park. Whilst jaguars exceed 170,000 individuals, tigers are few and far between. Only 3,500 tigers are left in the wild, with just 400 of the Sumatran subspecies. With millions of years of evolution behind them, it is devastating to think that we may have only a few generations left of today's big cats. Habitat loss, hunting, poaching, traditional medicine, and climate change are all contributing to the decline of big cats. Through conservation and education, there is a glimmer of hope that these awesome predators will be around for our children's children to learn about and enjoy. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. You can also leave a comment with what you would like to see in the following videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.